And welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday night. If you're going through some tough issues, just relax a bit more, lighten up, and remember, tough times are part of life. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And you're one of those tough people. And some people, I think, Alita, are just happy being miserable, you know. They go all their lives, there's always something wrong. Not once do they say, life's great. Life is beautiful.
There's so many people out there.
Always chasing, always striving, always trying to achieve, always trying to outdo someone else. But it's a happy Wednesday night, Mick.
Oh, definitely.
It was nice to meet you because this man here used to watch the show. Tell us about that.
The previous show, Life of Crime.
Yeah.
We used to sometimes pick it up. We'd have digital receptions occasionally out there, and we'd pick it up and we sometimes would converse how positive the show was. Sometimes in an environment like that, there's not much positivity when you're flicking on the channels and flicking through the channels and that, what to watch. And to get some positive enlightenment's good. Did
Alita inspire you?
Oh, definitely. We fought, like, she's there in one season of the show and then she disappeared. We fought, you fired her.
Well, people were emailing me saying, is she still alive? What has he done to her? There was a bit of a fight before she left. So people were actually, I think there was a campaign to find me.
Definitely was.
So I just want to show people I am back and I am okay. I am in one piece. So say hi to all my fans inside.
Yes, I certainly will.
There might be 2 of you, but I appreciate that.
Actually, you've got a fan base in there, a fan club.
Oh, thank God it's happened, finally.
Michael, tell me about the loneliness inside and about the... how did you design your life in your mind after you got over the rebellious stage?
Well, sometimes in prison, and a lot of people you're surrounded with, there can be negative elements in there. It depends on your mindset and the people that you surround yourself. And there are quite a lot of positive friends. I had a lot of positive, good support networks in there.
You look very fit, mate. You maintained your body very well. You preserved yourself. You did push-ups and ate good food. And in a way, I mean, life is so stressful, isn't it? We've got to pay our bills.
Definitely.
We've got the, the issues of life, and there's so much grog out there. But in prison, in a way, it's a very healthy lifestyle, isn't it?
Well, in prison, like, a lot of people are trapped outside in the community. They're trapped, plugged into the matrix. Whereas in prison, you can, a lot of us, we're unhooked from the machine of paying bills, the pressures of society.
So if you can handle it in your mind, it's quite a simple life, isn't it?
Definitely. Nelson Mandela, 21 years.
And he looks so young, doesn't he?
Isn't that amazing?
Certainly.
Did you think about him sometimes?
Oh, definitely inspirational.
Did you do a lot of reading inside?
Yeah, I read a few books here and there, like encyclopedias and stuff like that.
I imagine for a young bloke going in there at 17, like, no matter how tough exterior you've got, it would have been pretty frightening just getting in there amongst all the blokes that have been, you know, in there for a long time, was it?
It definitely was, like when I first come to prison and that. But luckily there was a lot of good people there who, took me under their wing, and there are a lot of good elements there and a lot of good people there. Unfortunately, other events have led them to the track that have put them there.
When did you start believing in, I suppose, a higher power, or when did you become a bit more spiritual, you know? I read your email and I can tell you you believe in the bloke upstairs.
I definitely believe in a higher essence and a power.
Yeah.
And in life, what you do, the way I see it, what you do, karma. If you project positiveness and do good, good will come back to you. You mightn't see it initially, but it'll come back to you as you walk around the corner. God will come up to you and say, "Hey, man."
And that's so true, isn't it? When we spend money on ourselves, you don't get the same amount of happiness as if you spend it on someone else and give them a gift, isn't it?
And if you've had, I even know if I've sort of been in a negative mood, or I've done something that I've disliked about myself or whatever, all these bad things in the next few days start coming at me. And, I might have done something, maybe spoke about someone or something, and then I find a few days later that all these bad things...
Well, that's right view, isn't it? When we're in a in that sort of negative mood, it's almost like we become a magnet for unfortunate circumstances. So if we're down, it's almost like a domino effect. I see that with my criminal law clients. They're depressed, and all of a sudden, one thing after the other. So if you're going through a very down time, work out the grieving time and then just stop that nonsense and remember that everybody goes through some tough issues and start smiling again and really start cheering up and, you know, celebrating life and say, this is excellent, it's going to be a fantastic day.
Yes,
Because
go out
then,
and say to your neighbours, good morning.
yeah, that people don't greet each other. I went to court today at Melbourne Magistrates Court. I said good morning to about 5 people. You know.
What's a smile cost?
What's a smile cost?
But one thing I do have to say though about you know, being positive and not attractive any, I tell you what, not like by not judging the people in prison for a reason, you know, they've done bad things, but it would be very hard not to let the dark clouds of depression sweep over you when you're put in there. Do you know what I mean? It takes a real massive amount of inner strength and pulling yourself together when you're finally in there. And your day in, day out is the same, it would take an immense amount of strength, like not to get back on drugs or to do anything, because it's just such a, it could be such a depressing realm, you know, because it's slapping you in the face that this is what I've done and this is why I'm here.
This is where you end up. And
so it's hard to be...
And society's based on fear, isn't it, folks? I heard this sad story yesterday. This guy did a armed robbery or something, just a fairly minor one, but he went to Queensland with his mum and they both suicided because he was scared of going to prison, you know. But the whole society is based on fear, you know. Everyone's trying to scare you. And fear is a nasty thing, isn't it?
It definitely, certainly is.
But I suppose we have to have fear. We have to have, otherwise people would, you know, they wouldn't pay their taxes, they'd drive whilst disqualified, they'd break all the rules, they'd...
It's just a natural emotion. A lot of people feel a lot of emotions from hurt, grief, sadness, loss.
How do you get over that? When you got out 8 weeks ago, did you have a big smile on your face?
Oh, definitely.
With your lovely lady? Tell me about that day, the experience.
It was just the best, like, it was just the best. I had a lot of good people that believed in me.
Did you leave some of your crap behind and give it to your inmates so you can keep this crap, you read this book?
No, I gave stuff out to the boys and that.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
How long were you in for your last stint?
My last stint was 22 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just in and out from 17?
Prior to that, substantial increments.
What does everybody who sit on the couch or say that the criminal justice system is not very fair?
To degrees, to break that down, you've got to look at it all perspectives. They say, I forget who wrote it, I think it was Edgar Allan Poe, said you judge a society by its prisons.
And something obviously isn't working in society for the young blokes that are so impressionable between 16 and 20. There has to be another option than locking them up. And fair enough, they've done things wrong, but there has to be, and this will never happen in my lifetime, but the better choice would be to rehabilitate these young blokes, give them something to live for. That's definitely not working. That's why they're back in there, back in again.
I must say there are a lot of new systems out there, a lot of courses and that.
But it's not enough.
But we'll talk about that shortly. We'll be back very shortly on Tough Times. Don't go away.